Hello everybody and welcome back to Cooking with Grandma. I'm sorry it's been quite a while since I've made a video, a couple of months now. We had an illness in the family which turned out to be okay. She's home, my mother-in-law, but we have to do 24/7 care for her now. So there's 4 of us that take turns taking care of her, and it just was a little bit difficult to get into making videos when I'm going back and forth to her house. So I'm back. Hopefully I can start making videos regularly again. We're gonna hope. So today what I have for you is a Copycat recipe from Cracker Barrel restaurant. It's called Cracker Barrel Chocolate Cherry Cobbler. I've not tried this before, but my sister who works at Cracker Barrel in St. Joseph, Missouri says it's amazing. She's had it at the restaurant. So we're going to go ahead and give it a try. So to start with, we need cherry pie filling, flour, sugar, baking powder, salt, butter, an egg, chocolate chips, evaporated milk, and it does call for a half a cup of slivered almonds to sprinkle on the top. I don't have those. I'm going to eliminate those. So I preheated my oven to 350, and I have you need to cook it in a casserole dish, 1.5 to 2 quart. This is my 2 quart, so I'm going to use that. Now it doesn't say to grease it or oil it or anything, so I'm not going to. Hopefully that's right. So now we're going to mix the flour, the sugar, the salt, and the baking powder in a medium bowl. So I'm going to go ahead and start that. 1.5 cups of flour. No, a little bit, get down. I got a new kitten for Christmas, and he's a devil. He's into everything. He's just a little baby. He's 7 months old. He's called an obsidian, which is the kind of cat that was from ancient Egypt times. They used to sit in front of the temples and guard them. This little guy is 7 months old. That's 1.5. Don't want to lose my count here. Well, there we go, 1.5. Let me just go ahead and do that again, because I was talking about my little Chester, and I wasn't exactly focusing on measuring, so I'm going to try that again. Anyway, his name is Chester the Molester because he likes to curl up at you and nibble on you, so we call him the Molester. He's adorable. He's just very bad. The people that had him, that raised him, that bred him, he was allowed to go on their kitchen counters and on their in and out of the cupboards and, you know, all over the kitchen and all over the table, and I'm trying to break him of that habit because I don't allow it. Leo doesn't do it. He's not going to do it. Okay, so we got 1.5 cups of flour. Now we need 1/2 cup of sugar. I hope everybody holiday. Unfortunately, we were all sick since Christmas Day. We all had a bad virus. Daniel Brody was out for the count. He was on antibiotics. I was on antibiotics. My son was. It was horrible. My daughter's now got a bad cold. The virus turned into a cold for her. So we're just kind of getting back on our feet. So hopefully I can get back to making videos. Everybody's going to be healthy. We're going to carry on and have a good 2020. So now I have the flour, the sugar, I need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Measuring spoon here. There we go. So 2 teaspoons. So we need to mix this together. Let me go back up here a little bit. I'm just copying the recipe from my tablet, so I don't have to write it out. If I like it, I'll write it out. Mix together. Okay, so we're going to mix all the dry ingredients together. There we are. So far, so good. Sounds pretty easy. I read through the recipe. I got all my ingredients out. It doesn't take a lot of ingredients. It doesn't sound like it's going to cost a lot to make it. So far. Now we have to cut the butter until the mixture resembles small peas. So we need 1/4 cup or 1/2 stick of butter. Now we're in Canada, so we don't have stick butter, so I will do the 1/4 cup of butter. That doesn't, oh, 1/2 stick. Okay, I was going to say 1/2 stick of butter is not, or a whole stick of butter is not 1/4 cup. So alright, so we're going to put that butter in there, and I'm going to grab my pastry blender. That's the only thing I did forget to get out. There There it is. You can use, like I've said before in my other videos, you can use 2 knives, crisscross them back and forth. But this will, if you want to pick up one of these gadgets at any kitchen store, some of the dollar stores even have them now. This is like, it just goes so much quicker. You just go round and round, chopping, give it a little shake to make sure everything is incorporated, and this gets the job done really, really quickly because there's like 5 blades here rather than just 2 crisscrossing with the knives. Either way it works. So it says to the batter or the dough or whatever, the flour ingredients is like the size of peas. So that looks pretty good. I don't have any great big chunks. It all looks pretty much the same. So that's what it should look like. All done like that. So now, okay, cut in butter. Now we have to set this aside. So now we're going to spread the cherry pie filling in the bottom of the casserole dish or the baking dish. Sorry for the noise. I didn't open the can ahead of time. Okay. Alrighty, I'm going to get my spatula here. I'm going to scooch everything to the other side so y'all can see what I'm doing. So now I'm going to pour this in the bottom of my dish. You can use any brand of cherry pie filling. I put it on the grocery list. My husband's a grocery shopper. He got me Edie Smith. It doesn't matter, whatever kind you like. It should be a 21-ounce can though. You might have to do, now this is 540 mils, so you kind of got to do the math when you're in Canada, but it's the big can. It's this can right here. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that. Drop that away. Now, okay, this step I didn't remember when I read it. It calls for 1 cup of chocolate chips, but it says to melt them either on a double boiler or in the microwave. So I'm going to melt them in the microwave. It's a lot quicker. So just excuse me for 1 minute and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got my chocolate chips all melted in the bowl. And to that, I let it cool for a little bit. For that, you add 1 egg and 1/4 cup of milk and mix it all together till it's evenly mixed. It's a small bowl, but there's not that much to add to it, so I can go ahead and use this bowl that I melted the chocolate chips in instead of dirtying another bowl. So I'm just going to give this a real good mix. It says to mix it till it's well blended. It's kind of runny, but that's okay because the milk is, you know, kind of liquefied the chocolate chip, so it is a bit runny, and it's not going to hurt anything. It'll mix in the, it is getting thicker as I mix it, but it'll get thicken up as it goes. You don't want it too thick, I don't imagine. So there we go. I mean, it's not just like melting chocolate chips, you're adding liquid to it. So now what we do to this, we add the chocolate mixture to the flour mixture and mix it really well. So there's my flour mixture with my butter all cut up nicely, and we're going to put the chocolate mixture in there. Get every bit of that goodness out. Get my spoon here. Now we're going to mix this really, really well into the flour mixture. This is called a cherry crumble. Yeah, cherry crumble. So it's not a cake or pie, or cherry cobbler. So cobblers are not, they're not flat like cakes. They don't bake like that. This is, you put the fruit on the bottom and then your toppings on. So that's what a cobbler is. Usually you make these in the summertime with nice, fresh, ripe peaches. Peach cobbler is so good. Cherry cobbler is wonderful. I've never had one where you've had the chocolate mixture, but that's okay. That's what makes this even more decadent than anything, is because you got the chocolate going on. Okay, so now that's all nicely mixed. So now what this recipe is telling me to do, instead of just putting it on top, is you You add the chocolate mixture to the flour mixture, mix very well. Now we're going to drop this randomly on top of the cherry pie filling in the baking dish. So just take spoonfuls of it and just, I'm going to switch bowls here so you can see. There's my cherry pie filling. So you just basically plop it on there, randomly on there. It will spread while it bakes. So you just go ahead and, there's no right or wrong, you just plop it on. It doesn't say, you know, drop randomly on top of cherry pie filling and baking dish. It doesn't say to use a big spoon, a little spoon, how much to put on at once. It doesn't really say, so I'm just going ahead and using this tablespoon here. And we're going to put that all in there. And pretty much that covered the whole entire bowl of cherries. So I'm not going to spread it out too much because it will spread while it bakes. But I just want to cover most of the cherries. It's a little, when recipes are a little vague like that, sometimes you have to kind of compensate for it and fix it. So that's what it looks like right now. I will put this in the oven and bake it, and now it's got to bake for 40 to 45 minutes. So I will put this in the oven and then I'll show you what it is looks like when we get it out of the oven and compare it to what the picture looks like. So into the oven at 350 it goes, and I will see you all back here in 40 minutes. Alrighty, we are back with our chocolate cherry cobbler, and this is the way it looks right now, just out of the oven. Nice and chocolatey, and you can see some of the cherries have oozed out over the side. That's cool. I'm going to take a little spoonful and put it on a dish so we can see what it looks like on the inside. And then I'll show you what the picture looks like. And you tell me if you think it's pretty close. Except for the almonds, I think it's pretty darn close. Alright. Do think I'm going to have to cook it for a few more minutes though. It's a little bit on the soft side, but I'll give you a show to see what it looks like. So here's what it looks like inside with the piece taken out. Oops, let me get a hold of it here. There we go, with the piece taken out. That's what it looks like. This is what it looks like on the plate. A little bit slimy inside. I'm going to put it back in and let it cook for another 5 minutes or so. But I'll show you what the picture looks like. And you all tell me in the comments if you think it looks like this. Now, there's what it looks supposed to look like. Except for the almonds, I think it's pretty darn close. So we're going to go ahead and serve that up for dessert tonight. Let me get a better picture. Let's see if I can find a better picture. There. There we go. And there is what's for dessert tonight. Cracker Barrel's Copycat Chocolate Cherry Cobbler. I hope you all enjoy it. Let me know in the comments what you think. And let me know if you try it and how it works out for you. And sorry it took so long for me to get back. I hope I'm back all the time now. Have a great day and get cooking. Bye, y'all.